Hi, this is Todd Zeal, formerly a player for the Mets, now an SNY broadcaster. And I just wanted to send a message to the graduating seniors at Paramus High School in New Jersey and say, A, congratulations. But B, I think maybe more importantly, this is an interesting time in your life. This was an interesting time in my life. And I think you need to be ready to embrace change. And I go back to the Greek philosopher Heraclitus that said the only constant in life is change. And that can be scary. I think at this point, you've had a comfortable, 4 years with friends, and now you're ready to go on in your own things in your own way. And sometimes that can be a little bit scary, but take it from a guy that has been through a lot of changes in his life. And at times change was scary. I mean, I remember as a sophomore in high school, I wasn't going to make the baseball team. One of my teammates couldn't throw correctly. He was a catcher. I decided to try out for catcher. They switched me there. It changed my whole path because I was not going to make it if I wasn't behind the plate. That was what enabled me to have that first bit of change to move on and have some success. Then I go to college. I'm thinking I'm not going to be a professional baseball player. I wanted to be a lawyer, was studying political science, got bigger and stronger in my junior year, got drafted. I ended up a baseball player. Now I go to the St. Louis Cardinals as a catcher, and a year plus into my big league career, they tell me I'm going to go play third base, which I'd never played before in my life. And I was really resistant to that change because it was scary to me. It was something about my future that was uncertain. And that was just another piece of a transition that I had to embrace, had to figure out a way to work through that transition and find my way and find a way of success. So, I cut to the end of my career. I was really lucky. I played 16 seasons. I had plenty of success, had an opportunity to play in a World Series, all the things that you dream about as a kid. But then I was done. I was 38 years old. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't want to be defined as a baseball player. I didn't want to be defined as a dumb jock. So what did I do? I took chances. I took risks. I took, some other transitional time in my life to try things in business. Some worked out, some were not so good. And so that's another thing that I think is important in life. I went into, aviation business that was okay. I went into real estate and then got killed in the 2008 real estate collapse, and I had to go start over again. So with change comes perseverance. And I think that perseverance showed me that I was maybe tougher inside than I had originally thought. I had, married my high school sweetheart. We had 4 kids. And as time went on, I recognized that we weren't a fit for each other. That was a huge change and a decision that I had to make. That was a really challenging decision in my life. And about 12 years ago, we divorced. About 10 years ago, I met somebody that I never expected to meet in an occasion that was completely unexpected. And now we've been married for 5 years, and I've, adopted essentially a secondary family to the family that I already had. I never saw that coming. I persevered through that path of real darkness and real questions of what I was going to do next, what was going to be next for me. And then it kind of came to me about 7 years ago as we were dating, as I was trying to figure out the next transition in my life, trying to pick myself back up from some failures in business and some real tough times with the family. And I remember, baseball is something I love. I tried to push it away and not be identified as that. But when I got back to baseball, I said, look, this is something that I love. I know a lot about. I can maybe make a difference here, and ended up coming back with the Mets, who welcomed me back. I got a chance to dip my toe in the water and felt like I was starting everything new again. But as time went on, I recognized this is something I love. Find a way to do something you love, and that is going to be your formula to never feeling like you're really working in life. I work all the time. I'm 110 games in this studio that we see here. That's a lot of games over the course of the season, but it never feels like work because It's something I know, it's something I love, it's something I'm willing to work for and that want to succeed in. So find that for yourself. That may be something you already know is something you love. Find a way to make that something that you can do for the rest of your life. You may find that in college. You may find that after college. It's not a race to find the right thing. The race is really to find a way to be true to yourself, because at the end of the day, you're just starting out. You think you're older, you're jumping off into being an adult, and it's a lot of transition in your life. But the reality is you're just starting a new step. And I've started new steps over and over and over. I've got another new one coming up. I'll be 60 this September, and I'm sure there's still a lot more things to come for me. But I look at that potential change and that transition and those new things in my life with a lot different perspective than I was able to look at it when I was 17 and graduating high school. So once again, congratulations. This is an exciting time in your life. Be bold, take risks, and find something you love. And you're going to be sitting like me someday, reflecting back with all the changes and all the things that you've done in your life, but how they've grown you into the person you want to be. And maybe you don't even see as that person right now in your life. So best of luck. Congratulations once again. And by the way, let's go Mets.